Like, oh, really? The only way we could tell down south is if they have their hair cut like yours.
He reminds me of Bill Hicks.
Hi everyone,
Hello,
I'm Veronica,
and I'm Waldemar.
and today we're watching yet again a new comedian. I think I'm gonna be saying that a lot now because we're trying out different people. And this is not someone who was recommended to us. I just found him myself.
Oh, that's gonna be risky.
That's gonna be risky. I think so. But I've seen, because sometimes we check out what other people react to, what is the content that is out there, so that we can participate. And I saw a lot of people reacting to this guy. It's an older clip. He's smoking on stage, so that I can tell you how old it is.
I wanted to say that it has to be old because I saw him smoking, which only happens if it's an old clip, only if you are very popular, like Dave Chappelle.
Like Dave Chappelle, yeah, indeed. So this one, it has a lot of views as well, I think around 4 million. There were a lot of positive comments. I have not seen it. Waldemar hasn't seen it either. All I did was check if the volume is okay, so it will be a complete first-time watch. And the name of the clip is I Got Thrown Out of a Bar by Ron White. We shall see how he is.
I got thrown out of a bar in New York City.
Now we're getting straight into it.
Now, when I say I got thrown out of a bar, I don't mean somebody asked me to leave. We walked to the door together, and I said, bye, everybody, I gotta go. 6 bouncers hurled me out of a nightclub like I was a Frisbee. Those big old bouncers that go home every night, watch Roadhouse and beat off. You know what I'm talking about? Patrick Swayze's hitting another guy.
So it's part of the story.
For wearing a hat. I walk into a bar with a hat on. This guy real pissy goes, took off the hat. I'm like, what's the deal? He goes, I'll tell you what the deal is. Faggots in this area wear hats. We're trying to keep them out of a club. I'm like, oh, really? The only way we could tell down south is if they have their hair cut like yours. And he goes,
He reminds me of Bill Hicks. You haven't seen Bill Hicks, but...
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've seen it.
The one about intellectualism?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does not remind me of him at all.
No, with the smoking, with the facial expressions, with the swag, like, I'm so above, like...
Yeah, you're right. I just didn't make that connection because the bit by Bill Hicks that we watched was about him being so smart that he reads books and no one else reads books. I liked it, but it was that point was a bit strange. And he is like, oh, I was at a party and I'm so, I had to have 6 guys throw me out, so I didn't immediately...
It's a joke, of course, but you can see the same kind of style. Or maybe that's just cigarettes that does this to you.
Maybe.
Got all pissed. But he walked away and I took the hat off, and like an hour later I'd been drinking and I forgot. You ever forget? Happened to me. I put the hat back on, the guy comes over to me. Now, I'm between 6'1" and 6'6", depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. I weigh 235 pounds. This guy comes over to me, poking me in the shoulder with 2 fingers, says, you're out of here. I'm like, I don't think so, Scooter. And I was wrong. They hurled my ass. And then they squared off with me in the parking lot, and I backed down from the fight because I don't know how many of them it would have taken to whip my ass. But I knew how many they were going to use. It's a handy little piece of information to have right there. Overkill. Well, they called the police because we broke a chair on the way out the door and I refused to pay for it. And the cops showed up, and at that point, I had the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability. The cop says, Mr. White, you are being charged with drunk in public. I was like, hi. I was drunk in a bar. They threw me into public. I don't want to be drunk in public. I want to be drunk in a goddamn bar, which is perfectly legal. Arrest them. Well, he didn't arrest them. Instead, they call in for my arrest record. There's some good news. Satellites are linking up in outer space. Computer banks at NASA are kicking on. There's a telegraph in Fritch, Texas going beep 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 beep.
Do you think it was an actual message in Morse code?
Do you think it would be so fun if he was actually saying something? And it's like, help, I hate this job.
This part takes a while. Shorthand. Beep. Now, I told you that story to tell you this story. When I was 17 years old, I was arrested for being drunk in public. Seemed to be a pattern. If you knew Morse code, you would already know that. And one DWI, which was a bogus charge because it turns out they were stopping every vehicle traveling down that particular sidewalk. And that's profiling, I believe. And the drunken public charge in Fritz, the arresting officer, who I had literally known all my life. You know what I mean? This guy lived 4 doors down from me in a town of less than 400 people. We've met. He takes me to jail. When we get there, he asked me if I have any aliases, and I was just being a smart ass and said, yeah, they call me Tater Salad.
Tater salad?
17 years later in New York City, I'm handcuffed on a bench with blood coming out of my nose. This cop goes, are you Ron Tater Salad White? You caught me. You caught the tater. You can take down those roadblocks now. I call my son Tater Tot. And Poot.
Okay, how did you like it?
I liked it. I like the kind of a switch, you know, because he started off with this persona, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I was wrong.
Yeah, that killed me. That was really good. That was a really good line. That was amazing. Yeah, and I think at least a few times we said on this channel, we were both not so big on the kind of humor that, oh, I went to the bar and I got so drunk and I did so many outrageous things. Or, like, I was so high.
It's a different kind of story.
But this was a different kind of story, right? It was.
It wasn't about what funny thing happened to me. It was just about the fact. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I liked his delivery. I don't know. It was entertaining.
I wonder if he's alive. So that's what I was wondering. Like, he was telling one story after another story about how he was drinking. He was drinking and smoking on stage.
Yeah.
I was like, and all sweaty here.
Yeah, I don't know which year
lifestyle.
This is from. It would have to be the 80s, 90s?
Oh, I don't think 80s. I think more 90s or beginning of the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm wondering
because the quality of the video was too good to be out 80s.
That's a good point. I was just thinking.
Maybe not the quality, but you can see this kind of like a grain, you know.
You can see the grain, and you can also see the lighting on the stage is pretty good. Like it comes out quite crisp, so I think you're right. I was just thinking at which point smoking was illegal, but I always assume it must have been much earlier than in Poland, but I think not that much earlier. Because in Poland in the early 2000s you could still do that.
I guess, you know, in United States, if it's because it is in United States, I think it depends on the state.
That's also true. Yeah.
I think this is like one of those things that not the federal government decides, but the
states themselves.
The states.
Maybe. Well, let us know if you have any, not about the smoking, maybe about the guy, or let us know whatever you'd like. And if you enjoyed it, then
can we check it out when it was recorded or not?
Sure.
Or no? No. I thought that it's gonna be some information in the description of the video, but it was uploaded in 2011, so at least it's older than that.
Indeed, and it's uploaded by this guy's official channel, so I suppose we can later trace if he's still active and therefore if he's still alive.
You don't know if it's official. It can be just someone uploading his videos and call
It's
it.
illegal to call your channel official if you're not official. You can't do that.
It's like if you are a police, you need to say that you are police.
Yeah.
You cannot lie about it when
Yeah,
you
of
are asked.
course. Of course.
Yeah, nice video, nice
Thank
story.
you. Thank you
Who?
for the research.
You
I
found it.
appreciate my research.
Your research.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you for appreciating my research.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And if you have any similar recommendations or any new comedians for us to check out, or if you want us to see something more from Ron White,
Yep.
then do that in the description. No,
In the
the comments. Yeah, description is for us. Don't touch the description. It's for us. You have the comment. Like it's a 50-50 deal. And yeah, do that. And if you are new to this channel and you want to not miss out on videos, then subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Goodbye.
See you next video.